This is the 242nd episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the last week of April 2016. This episode is titled Travel and Vacation Tips. CloudFocus Weekly is brought to you by Clone This User.
This is the worst.
Clone an existing Salesforce user with a click of a button via the desktop or on Salesforce One mobile. Available free on the App Exchange or clonethisuser.com. By the way,
no.
I'm your host, Howard, and joining me, co-host Justin Elsing. So, by the way,
I've been here the whole time. I haven't left.
Yes,
Since
and you
the
were
last
trying to throw
episode.
me off
really was.
by doing a meme, which I showed you, which whatever, because I'm so up on the memes. First things first.
Second.
I got a text the other day from you
Yeah.
that said, sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird because I don't know I lost anything. And he's like, I
said,
know you were a big fan.
That's right.
And it was very weird to get like a text from somebody basically giving me condolences for something I didn't know. Anyway, it was for Prince. And so RIP Prince. Sorry, I've been tweeting a little bit about it recently.
But how thoughtful of me
It's a little weird.
to text you.
I'm not one of those people who feels like that celebrity deaths just in time.
Oh, the sound disappeared.
That celebrity deaths are sort of, I don't take it too personally because I don't know them. Like if you died, I maybe pour a little out for you. A little grapefruit. Pour a little grapefruit out.
Would you come to my funeral?
Your
Oh, this sounds bad.
It went worse. Your funeral?
Yeah.
Would you do a funeral? Or
Yes.
Would you a mitzvah? You do a
No.
shvinktazoid?
Funeral.
What was that?
Funeral.
Okay.
It's not getting appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would do a funeral.
That's the way it works.
All right.
Like it happened quick though. You wouldn't have much time to think.
I would go.
Like
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan.
I would die today. I might be in the ground tomorrow.
I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of funerals. But anyway, so Prince...
Who is a fan of funerals? What kind of stupid statement is that?
No, but I'm like, I don't get...
It's like, you know what I'm looking forward to with my next funeral?
No, but they're like, some people really get into it.
I love a funeral.
I know somebody really
I love
gets
a good
into it.
funeral.
I don't like it.
I like a good Shiva call.
See?
I mean, that I could get into. You get some good food. There's some babka there, perhaps.
Did you say
Wine.
vodka?
Babka.
Vodka?
Yeah, vodka-flavored babka. Or
That
babka-flavored vodka.
Yay, you said it wrong the first
All
time.
right.
So I was going to do a side note. I've been recently, I can make this one of my 17 picks today. I've been recently moving our domains from GoDaddy. He doesn't even know this. Like, this is what's funny. From GoDaddy to Google. So Google has like a thing called Google Domains. The process is...
Isn't it just GoDaddy in the background?
No.
It used to be.
No, it's Google. Google has their own registry now. Google's site is pretty good, right? Of course, it's very clean, like not a lot of stuff. On GoDaddy, it's
GoDaddy's the worst.
It's the worst. But also the prices, Google's prices are good, and they give you privacy for free. Like GoDaddy charges you like $20 a year for privacy, whereas
What does that even mean?
meaning that you can, when they look up your domain, like if you looked up, actually go ahead, look up who is Clone This User, and you'll see it's like you can't see who owns it. That's why I was thinking about it. Anyway, so I've been slowly moving them over. You should do it when the registration is up, but if you do it before, you're kind of double paying. But it's $12, and GoDaddy was like got up there. Anyway, the process is a little tough, and you kind of have to tell one and then tell the other and then have them do it. But I've been doing that. So there's my first pick of the week, which is try Google Domains. It's under beta. But it's
All
pretty,
our websites are going to disappear in a year and a half.
But it's pretty inexpensive.
They're just going to be like, no more domain for you.
And the problem with GoDaddy is all the upselling. You'd be like, click to check out. Do you want this? No. Do you want email? No. Do you want a website? No. Do you want... No. It's like it took me...
Do you want a calendar?
Do you want a calendar? No. All right, so I figured, since we don't have a lot on the Salesforce front to talk about, there've been a couple happenings. We have a couple blog posts, but really summer 16 is coming...
Summer is
soon.
coming.
Right, but I don't think we don't have
Winter's
the notes.
coming. Summer's coming.
Right, we're not going to talk.
Summer's coming. We don't have notes, although I think pre-release notes are out.
Right, but we haven't reviewed them.
I've been sent an interesting thing to look at in the release notes.
So the point is, I'm going to put that on the next agenda.
We're on the back burner,
and we'll do blog catch up in spring and summer 16 next time. And we can't talk about the big thing that we had, and thankfully we didn't talk about it.
Because I begged you not to.
Well, you said it was going to hit at 12 noon, and it didn't hit.
No,
So
I was told that there would be a press release.
and we can't talk about that either.
And that's it. And
So that
it's
thing we're
still
not talking
in
about.
private beta.
So I figured we go to the bucket o topics. Wait, hold on. Ding! That's my sound effects.
I'm just sitting here eating my beard.
And we'll talk about travel and vacation tips because
okay, you know what? Thanks for downloading. See you later. See you next time on CloudFocus.
Wait, we're gonna make a lot of picks. Oh, I see. I got some of them back. So you and I travel. Well, I would say more than the normal. I mean, the average American. What is it? 60% of Americans don't have passports.
Oh, really?
Do you have a passport?
Of course.
So you're in the 40% already.
I'm in the top 40.
We travel.
Get me into the top
travel 12 times a year between business and pleasure, at least.
Yeah.
You travel a bunch. So
At least once a month.
And, we have so we take vacations and we take travel. And I thought maybe we'd kind of mix this into two things. Like, what do we do sort of vacation-wise in terms of, productivity when getting away from the office? And what's your theory when you're away? Like, are you an all-off?
Let's
whatever?
do it.
And then we could bring in some travel tips.
Yes.
All right.
So
let's get to it.
Do it. Yes. This is your thing. You're leading it.
Yeah, all right. Well, then maybe you
Because usually I lead these things and ask you a bunch of questions, but this is, I don't know, this is your thing. Ask me stuff.
So, well, no, because I have all the answers, so you should be asking me. Maybe I should just give you the questions to ask me, and then I'll ask them.
All you want to do is talk.
Yeah, I like to talk.
I don't like this.
I like to taka.
I like it.
So first of all, for vacations.
Yeah.
What do you
talking
do?
Vacation
yeah,
or
what
business
do you do
travel?
Vacation? I'm talking vacation. Let's talk vacation.
Okay.
What do you do at Arkus to get yourself ready for vacation?
It depends on how long the vacation is.
All right, so give me the different scenarios. Like if it's a
long weekend, I don't really do anything.
Nada. Okay.
I just whatever. It's a long weekend, and I'm not.
So
I'm basically not out.
Right, you're kind of pseudo out.
Pseudo out.
I would agree. A Friday and a Monday, I'm still pseudo out.
Yeah,
so
pseudo
when
out.
I add that third day, either the Thursday or the Tuesday, then I'm kind of like, okay, now I got to say something.
So at Arkus,
yeah,
if you're running projects, you're sending out status reports on Fridays.
That's right.
So if you're out on a Friday, you've got to either send out your status reports on Thursday.
That's correct.
Suck it up and do it on Friday when you're kind of out.
Right.
Or really, that's kind of it.
Right.
So I'll plan for that. I'll plan around that.
So we would say tip one is that you probably start notifying people who need to know about your sort of where you'll be.
Yeah,
for
if it's
a longer one.
For a longer one, probably give like 2 weeks.
Right.
Like, hey, I'm going to be out this week from this day to this day. If you need any backup, the person's copied on this email, that kind of thing.
Right. And that's a good, I would say that's why I was kind of thinking is because as, spinning a little GTD, one of the things is when I'm looking ahead in my calendar, I look 2-3 weeks ahead, that always, I see the vacation in there. I'm like, okay, I got to start planning both on the notification, but also started planning on the, when people are asking me about to do things, I have to know that there's this block that if you say, well, I need to go live on the X and I'm not going to be there for the X, I have to say, okay, well, am I giving that to somebody else or am I doing it, right?
So some other things, if a longer extended period of time, put together a Google Sheet. I mean, it sounds crude, but it does the job. Just put together a Google Sheet of the project.
Yep.
With links and stuff to all the resources that someone would need, links to things in the cloud, who's covering for me, some notes for them, and I'll try to meet with whomever is covering for me for like a half hour to an hour just to review, like, hey, this is this project. This is where this is going.
Week.
Yeah, this is like
2 weeks.
This is like I'll be out for a week and a half to 2 weeks. I'm probably gonna be out like across 2 weekends. Put it that way. And people are gonna need to reach out to you about stuff. So these are the things to expect from these types of people, and you can pay attention to this stuff. This stuff is important, but can wait for me to get back.
Right.
If something really, really urgent comes up, notify this person because they know exactly what this thing's going to be.
Right.
And make sure that is circulated to everyone who needs to know about it. Basically, everyone whose name is on the sheet who's covering for me. But also make sure that other people are aware. Like, hey, here's my I'm going away sheet.
Right.
For this period of time. Know it exists. If anyone were to, for any reason, reach out to you out of nowhere, just refer to this because it's got all the notes and links to other things that have notes in them. So I try and prepare. This is obviously all work stuff. Try and prepare that way here at work for that type of trip or vacation.
Right. If you're right. Now, question for you.
Yeah.
This is a big debate, I think, when I talk to people about traveling and vacationing.
Yeah.
Like, there's kind of two kinds of travel and vacation. There's you go dark, which is you're in no communicado. Like, there is no communicating with you. Out of office is fully on. It says to talk to other people, and you're not really going to respond to anything. That's sort of part A. And then the other part is, well, I'm away, but I'm in a place that I will have email, and I will probably be checking my email 2, 3, 4 times a day. So if really something comes up, I won't really necessarily handle it, but I'll be able to like respond and say, hey, or I'll be able to jump on something, or again, not really work. I guess there's the third, but I'll be checking in more than once a day. So it's not like you're waiting 24 hours. And then the last kind is I'm vacationing. I do this because this is kind of the way I like to do it. I like to go on vacation, but then kind of still do some stuff. Like I like to do a little work in the morning and like check in on stuff, a couple hours, and then sort of for the rest of the day I'm kind of off. So it's kind of like I'm doing like 2-3 hours in the morning, and then I'm off for the afternoons every day, which is kind of my favorite. And then you go someplace, that you have good internet or whatever. Which one do you do?
I like to go dark.
You go dark. Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah,
I mean, you asked, but
yeah, I asked because
I go dark.
You go on cruises where you can't really get the stuff, and
that's like a legitimate. I can't.
On your honeymoon, you were definitely dark. Like you were in Europe. I mean, it depends where you are. Obviously, if you're traveling to Massachusetts and you're gonna go stay in someone's house, it's like, well, they have good internet. I'm not really dark.
Yeah, it's all about my intention. Like, am I going away? You mentioned Massachusetts. I go there and I work from there often in the summertime, but when I'm going away on vacation, I like to be away. Go ahead.
I was say, what's the last vacation you didn't take your laptop?
I did not take my laptop.
Do you take it when you went on the cruise?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
You take your laptop to London? Yes.
Yes, because I thought I might need it.
Right.
I thought I might need it to look stuff up while in the Airbnb.
It's been once, and my wife
also
reminded me of
this. London was just a long weekend.
It was a Thursday, Friday, Monday type of thing.
Yeah,
I think you actually came back maybe Sunday.
I did.
Even then it would have been a reason.
Or
not
Monday.
to take it.
I came back Monday, but I didn't go till Friday. It was like Friday through Monday. I think I brought it just in case I needed it for in the apartment that I was staying at. Yeah, I definitely did bring my laptop. I think
I one vacation in the last 4 years I didn't bring my laptop. Because a laptop is not just work. Like, there's other things on my laptop that I do that I like to have my laptop with me. I might not take it out very often. Like, I was in Bermuda a while ago, and there was no way to watch some, like, Hulu. Like, you can't, was it Hulu? No, it was Netflix. There's really no way to watch it on the TV because I couldn't figure out, there was no way to connect it up, but I had my laptop, and so we watched, it was a rainy day, and we watched, some Netflix shows.
So I like to go dark. I put the out of office on. I do, however, I get a lot of email that is clutter email. So, sorry, success community, but like a lot of success community stuff.
55 of them on Sunday morning.
A lot of that stuff. So I will go in like once a day and just delete a lot of emails or
Right.
mark them all read or something.
Right.
But I try not to open emails from anybody. Like if I see that somebody sent me an email, like I'm like, I don't want to open it because I don't want to trip like them knowing that I opened it. Because you know if somebody's opened your email when they're out of office, if you send them a second email and you get the out of office. So I don't like to do that. So I try not to do that unless it says like urgent.
Right.
Check this email and it's like from you or
Right.
someone like that.
See, to me, it's just
I
easier
like
to
to go
stay on
dark.
top of it during, again, personal preference. I like to stay on top of it. Like I rather go through and check email 4 or 5 times a day. Check it in the morning, check it before lunch,
No.
check it in the afternoon, because then I can just stay on, and I'll just flag things. I
I want
flag.
nothing to do with it. I just want to delete the stuff that's just going to suck my time when I
Right.
do get back to it. That way, instead of going through, 600 emails, I'm going through 100 emails. Or
Right.
100, because I could tell you, like, only 1 out of every 5 emails I even get are, like, real. A lot of it's just crud. So
Probably just turn that stuff off then.
I should before I go away, but there's so much of it that I wouldn't even know where to go to start turning it off. Like I'm in a lot of groups in Chatter that send me every notification, like every email.
I
Send
think
me a
there was an app
notification.
for that you could like go in.
That'd be really good.
Yeah.
But run it against the success community because that's where a lot of the emails come from. But anyway, yeah, I prefer to go dark. I prefer to just try and relax and not think about it as much as possible. And one of the things that I also do, particularly for vacations, is I try to end my vacations and come home on Saturdays.
Right. So you have a rebound.
So I
day.
have my Sunday rebound, get
Right.
back into it day, and I'll often use that Sunday to pound through all the emails, get through all the updates, do a weekly review or something, because I'm not doing that on my vacation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just not.
so I'll do a week review. Doesn't matter where I am, when I am. I mean, I haven't.
I'm off. Like I'm not even thinking about anything.
I was saying there's actually an example of where I won't, like, I'm going camping, and I'm like, I won't do a week review camping because that's like, but I'll do it when I get home or I'll do it before I go. All right, let's talk some stuff. So one thing I would say, I'd say just game changer for me in travel in the last whatever. One of my theories is, and this has been, that actually took me about 10 years to get here, is to become very, to like pick your brand and stick with it. So like one of the things I do is I only stick within a couple brands for travel, meaning I fly on one airline and I try to stay at one hotel because they start to add up. And I used to just fly whatever I could get, but I'm like, no, now it's the brand loyalty is high because I've seen that it pays me back. So like I only fly Delta pretty much exclusively unless I absolutely can't get there.
Same here.
And then I end up staying at these Hyatts because
That's not the same for me.
yeah, well, I do because even when I go to someplace like, when I go to someplace local, I'm like, I just know the brand. I know that when I walk in and say I'm a Hyatt, whatever, I get a better level of treatment. So I'm not just another guy. They have my profile, and it's worked out for me a couple times that I got to do stuff that they were like, oh, Mr. Atwood, it's good to see you. And, oh, well, let's put you in this room or this room or this room or give you this. Or one time they gave me a credit at the local, restaurant. It's like, because I'd gotten bumped off a plane. I was like, it wasn't their fault I got bumped off a plane. So, and to me, it doesn't really matter. It's just about, do you trust the brand? Like some of these hotel chains, I don't trust the chain. I think that they're going to be, walk up and it'll be bad. The other things I do that recently, and I know I did it, and then you did it, and everybody, I even had my wife go do it, was TSA Pre. And
My wife has it as well.
yeah, I would almost... I don't know why it took me so long. I feel like an idiot for all the years I didn't have it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was
It's
the
the greatest thing ever.
It's the greatest thing
We
ever.
should stop talking about it.
Right, because we don't want other people to do it.
Yeah.
You guys shouldn't use TSA
It's
Pre.
actually the worst.
It's the worst. It's very expensive.
It's terrible.
It takes at least 100 years to get it.
And they just I mean, Big Brother's just all over you.
Yeah, all over you.
You want nothing to do with it.
Don't do it. But
it's the greatest.
It's changed the
you
way
You walk right through. You don't have to take your shoes off. Don't have to take your laptop out. Don't have to do anything.
There
you
are
just
times
walk
where
through.
I walk in and there was coming back from Chicago. I walked through and the Chicago line was 30 minutes and there was nobody in the TS. It was a straight pass, like no stop. Like I didn't have to stop.
It's so good. I love it.
It is amazing.
I also love not having to take anything out of bat. No shuffling. You just go. Like the whole thing is faster. There's no line.
I've also learned
the line itself is faster.
Yes,
because you don't have to take your shoes
off.
Even
JFK
you don't have to do anything.
was crazy lines. The TSA line is crazy, but it's still 1/3 the time of the regular line.
Oh yeah, because no shoes, no laptop. You don't have to question anything. You don't just walk through the thing.
Just
go.
Yeah, it just. And the way I put it too, because I think it's $80 for 5 years.
$80 for 5 years. I would pay $80 a year.
Yeah,
I would pay more than that.
Or a time. I always say, if you're standing there and you see this huge line, you see a TSA line.
Here's my credit card.
Right, swipe it. Get me through there.
They don't do the random selection anymore either.
No, with the $44,000 app.
It's over. Done.
Right.
Random selection is done.
So what? All right. So we travel a lot. Or not a lot, but enough.
Yeah.
So what apps do you use? What's your go-to apps?
I don't have any.
Okay, good. You're good.
No,
good job.
I mean,
good job participating.
I don't have a go-to app. I do have. Let's see. So I do Fly Delta. So I use their Fly Delta app to do everything. Checking in. I throw the thing into my wallet, the boarding pass. I use it to check on upgrades and things of that nature. So, Delta, great. It's a good app, too. Let's see. I have Evernote, which I have a packing list.
Yes.
Which has broken into kind of sections like clothing, tech.
Question.
Stuff like that.
When do you pack for a trip?
Depends on the length of the trip. So tough question. Let's use this week as an example. Today's Monday. I have a Wednesday morning 9:30 a.m. flight to San Francisco.
Yep.
So Wednesday 9:30.
JFK or LJ?
JFK. Probably leave at 7:30.
Yeah.
I know there's a little traffic probably in there.
JFK is tough.
Yeah, I might even leave earlier. I'm not sure. We'll see.
So would you pack the night before? Or
I'll probably pack tomorrow night.
I almost never, unless it's
I usually pack the day of, but because I'm very good at packing, I don't ever forget stuff. The only time I forget stuff is little tech gadgety doodads that are just in the wrong
bag.
Computer bag.
You don't just swap them? You don't have that in your checklist?
I don't. I should add, because I now have 2 computer bags, and one is the travel bag and the other isn't. And I think I had to grab stuff out of the travel one to put into the other one, so it never made its way back in, and whatever. Doesn't matter.
It's funny because my travel bag is fully stocked and it never comes out of that bag. Nothing comes out of that bag.
I don't have duplicates of certain things.
Like what?
An example, these MacBook Pros don't have Ethernet dongles.
Oh, yeah.
So, or Ethernet ports. So I have one Ethernet dongle. It ended up in the wrong bag at one point. But I usually travel with, there are certain things that I travel with. I have one of those USB chargers that has 4 ports. I have a lightning cable and watch cable,
right? Oh yeah,
just for traveling.
Oh yeah,
that stuff is all good. So a
lot
of this stuff is all right, I'm using Evernote, but I'm not really having to do anything. I'm just reassuring myself that okay, I have that. Oh, let me make sure that's in the bag. Yep, it's okay, it's there.
And in my Evernote, I have a lot of things that are kind of cues to do in advance, because there's some things you can't do 5 minutes before you leave. If you want to download a lot of movies or update your podcast.
I definitely do all that stuff the night before.
So you want to get your things ready.
Amazon Prime's changed the game on that one now that you can download stuff.
So and TiVo.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that box.
Oh,
that
so
TiVo box
good.
that allows for that. But Amazon Prime now with the downloads, you can just download a whole season of something
Yep.
or like 3 movies. They don't have the greatest movies, but
There's an article the other day that they have more movies in their collection now than Netflix does.
yeah, but they're crappy movies.
They are crappy, but they have Showtime.
They have HBO.
No, they have Showtime.
They have Showtime in there too.
Yeah, I was watching Don Cheadle, that movie. That show is on.
House of Lies?
They have like the first 4 seasons on download.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes it's embarrassing. Like that show.
That
on
show
a
you should not
plane,
watch on a
shouldn't
plane.
watch it. Like, yeah,
Right.
I tried
Like,
to watch one of those shows on a plane once. One of the Amazon shows. I was trying to watch Transparent on a plane
and
with
a
my
little
wife,
embarrassing.
and we were watching it, and all of a sudden there's some nakedness, and we're like looking around, and like, all right, and then there's more nakedness, and we're like, yeah, we probably should not watch this on the plane.
One of my wife's favorite movies, and it's not. It sounds worse than it is, but it's a very funny movie. Is Zack and Mary Make a Porno?
Yeah,
and it's really not as bad as you think it is. But there are like 1 or 2 scenes that are like maybe not even. Yeah, one or 2 scenes. Anyway, so she was watching it on her iPad, and she noticed that someone was just like staring, so she had to stop. Like, can't watch that movie anymore. Yeah, definitely downloading all the stuff, especially podcasts. I like to load up on all the podcasts, make sure I've got them all. One of my tips is I always bring my passport. And my reason is that I like to have a backup ID, because if someone were to steal my wallet, or if I lose my wallet or something, I at least have another ID I can go with. And I think passport is just a better ID to have when you're traveling, like, so I don't have to take. My theory is, if I'm doing all that in the line stuff, my passport sits with my like phone, and I can just go phone passport. I don't have to deal with the pulling out the wallet and having to worry about that piece.
right.
So I always take my passport.
Me too. I always travel with my passport.
I also am a big, like, to me it all starts at the when it starts. I use Tripit because I really like it. Although I think Google is getting so much better. Someone was telling me that Google does all the things that Tripit does.
It's on my calendar. My trip is on my calendar.
Yeah,
the flights are on my calendar.
That it does. But that even Apple does now too. It throws those in your calendar. But what it doesn't do, what I like about Tripit, is it creates a subscribable calendar. So what I do is I give that to my wife. So when I plan trips, she then gets it. She sees it on her calendar. So I don't have to say, oh, here's my flight. I used to, back in the Disney, I used to like send out an email like, here's my flight, here's my hotel, here's what I'm doing.
I just got one of those from my dad 2 days ago.
What? Like, what do you... Yeah.
Here's my itinerary.
Right.
Thanks, Dad.
And what you can do in Tripit is you can just click print, and so you can even send a PDF to someone, like if they... Because not everybody subscribes to your calendar. I really like that. And then for apps... I'm trying to think like the ones that I kind of use a ton.
Do you know what's really great while you look
What?
at apps?
Yeah.
So Google Maps
Yes, I know Google
now
Maps.
allows you, or has been allowing you for a little while now, to pinpoint a location
Yes.
and then zoom out or in. You'd probably want to zoom out to a certain radius around that location and download that map
Yes.
locally so that
Yes.
you don't need data. So if you're traveling
That's a great
outside
tip.
the country and you don't have international data, which is a whole other thing that we should mention. But if you can go to Google Maps and you can download, like say you're going to London, well, you can download where you're staying in London. You can download a bigger section if you know you're going to a certain place. You can have that offline and zoom into it so that you can have it when you're walking around. Other sort of tip is if you know you're traveling internationally, you should think about getting international data plan, because not everywhere has just Wi-Fi automatic.
Right.
And you know what? If you want to get an Uber because you're in the middle of nowhere, you want to be able to get the Uber.
Yep.
And the same goes with the Google Map. If you didn't download it offline, you're like, how do I get home from here?
Or you can just get home and pay a $300 bill.
Or you could do that.
Whatevs. So a couple apps that I
Which
really
you
like.
don't want to do. You're going to hate life if that happens.
Well, a couple new ones. There's actually a TSA app.
Really?
And it's not bad. It's called My TSA, and it allows you to see the wait lines at certain airports. Because one of the things is, again, if you're not on TSA, it's like, well, is that a 10-minute wait in the line or a 30-minute wait? One of the tip that I do is I go into each one of my apps. And again, you're doing this whenever you're walking around, but like a couple days before, I go into all the apps that I'm going to use for some purpose. Like if I'm going to Hyatt, I go into the Hyatt app. I go into the Delta app. I go into what's the one we use, Way to Ride, and I make sure that I still have credit cards in there that work, because I've once or twice gotten caught by, like, I try to go into the app and either I can't log in because it's updated or I haven't updated it, and it's like, then I'm trying to remember, like, what was my login for the Hyatt app versus the thing or that. So I try to go into, if I'm flying Delta and I'll go into those 4 apps to make sure everything's up to date in them. And then I like apps that, like, watch the flights. Now, again, most of the apps now, like most of the services do that for you now. But I used to have one called, actually they stopped making it, but it used to read from Tripit. So it would pull down all my flights from Tripit and then kind of give me alerts if anything changed. Well, again, most apps now have that built in. I'm trying to think of another one.
I get alerts on my watch when
it's boarding. Yeah.
Boarding. You're now boarding. I know, I'm standing here.
I'll throw another one out there, another fun one. Bring Fido. So it's an app that lists out all the hotels that could take dogs. I've taken my dog once in a while. All right. What about packing tips?
We already did that.
Really? So your packing tip is just that you have a big Evernote and you check it before you travel?
That's kind of it. I mean, know the weather, where you're going.
Yep.
And that's it. Pack accordingly. Know if you're going to go to the gym. If you are, great. Bring extra underwear. bring sneakers.
I will tell you, I no longer pack for just the days I'm going. Because I have got caught once or twice where I had to stay an extra day. And knowing if you just throw in an extra underwear, which is tiny, or you throw in an extra, undershirt, just to know that you have one extra. So I always or even like an extra shirt, I'll just throw one in because I feel like just in case. Because
I always pack an extra pair of underwear, an extra pair of socks, and an extra T-shirt.
There you go.
Not undershirt, but like a T-shirt.
Right. I just do the undershirt because if I want to wear it underneath another shirt, something like that. What's the other one I do? Oh, a weird one. I unpack my wallet. So because I carry around my wallet, I have lots of stuff that are like New York based, like Metro cards and like the Dwayne Reed and like the pickle guy down, the all that sort of like loyalty stuff. So I unpack it down to what I need for the trip. So I don't end up taking just stuff that I don't need, the local liquor store, the wine stop, the this, the that. I don't want to take all that with me, and I just pull it out and put it at home. Obviously, packing stuff. I don't know. I guess that's it. Any other wonderful tips for your travel?
Oh my God, is anyone listening still?
No.
I think we're
No,
good.
they're not. All right. You're just some nasty man. All right, well, we made a ton of picks, so those are good. Again, I think, I don't know, I made tons. But, all right, so next week we'll come back with more Salesforce-y stuff. This week was sort of a travel thing. If you have good tips, shoot them at us, at Just Edelstein, at Jason M. Atwood. What's on your Evernote list for your packing list?
What's on your list?
What's on your list? What's
on
your wall?
Your list?
Facebook.com/Arkus saying Success Community, Power of Us, groups, LinkedIn, Google+. Remember to always subscribe, review. We'll be back next week with some more Salesforce-iest things. Until then, as always, it's Justin Jace saying enjoy those cloudy days.